Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Nikki, and here at my channel I like talking about everything having to do with books. One thing that I really like doing is book reviews, and today's review is going to be on Beauty and the Blitz by Sosie Frost. So as the title implies, this is a new take on the classic Beauty and the Beast story with a little bit of football thrown in. I really love different versions of fairy tales, and Beauty and the Beast has always been my absolute favorite. So the bar for this one was pretty high going into it. This book was cute enough that I did like it. In this rendition, Piper Madison is a single mom who had to quit school early before finishing her degree to take care of her daughter Rose. She works as a gopher at her dad's sports agency, and she does everything she can just to get by to support her little girl. Because she has to do her dad's dirty work, she is sent to deal with Cole Hawthorne and try to convince him to agree to be traded. Cole Hawthorne is a professional linebacker. And if you don't know, the linebacker is on the defensive side of things, and he's the first one in the row trying to tackle the quarterback before he can make any plays happen. Cole's strength and drive and temper have gotten him into a lot of trouble, and it's gotten him nicknamed as the Beast in the league. Off the field, he's a loner and he's kind of a jerk. People are afraid of him, so when he meets Piper, he's really thrown off by the fact that this petite woman doesn't seem as scared of him as everyone else does. She actually stands up to him, which for him is completely different from anyone he's ever met. I liked that the characters were multifaceted. When we meet Piper, she's kind of passive. She does everything for her daughter Rose, and she's pretty desperate for a means to provide for her. So she lets the men in her life kind of treat her like shit because she doesn't want to make any waves. Rose's dad is a dirtbag human being, but Piper wants him involved, so she lets him get away with things. Her own father is an asshole, but she needs this job to support her daughter. Cole is also kind of a dick when we meet him, but again, she still needs this job, so she lets him push her around to a certain extent. But through the course of the story, we see her grow kind of a backbone. She doesn't really fight for herself, which honestly annoys the hell out of me, but she fights for Rose, and she does fight for Cole. Piper can be smart and ruthless when this defensive side of her comes out, and she's also very stubborn. And like I just said, Cole is kind of an asshole, but he knows how dangerous he can be, and he uses it as a shield to keep other people away. If there's no one around, he can't hurt them. Through his interactions with Piper, and especially with Rose, we see this vulnerable side start to come out. He cares deeply for these two, and he himself starts to realize that maybe he's not the villain that everyone else tries to paint him as. So I like the fact that this book featured a mixed race couple. There aren't too many of those in romance. And the fact that I'm giving kudos to Beauty and the Blitz for having a diverse main cast is kind of sad. But I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I enjoy the elements of the fairy tale that it brought. When Piper's dad fires her and she's on the verge of being homeless, Cole makes a deal with her that she can be his agent if she and Rose move in with him while they get back on their feet. When she first moves in, it's kind of fun to watch them try to navigate around each other. And there are some pretty sweet and funny moments when Cole tries to get used to having an attractive woman living with him, but also a baby. It's funny seeing this big Goliath of a guy knocked off his feet by a little 16-month-old. As much as I liked this book, there were a few things that kept me from loving it. Like in other versions of the story, Beauty is forced to live with the Beast because of her dad. But in this one, I really hated her dad. He's a total misogynist and does some pretty horrible things to Piper, like making her work really crazy hours even though he knows that she has a baby back home that she's trying to take care of. Or when she no longer works for him, he tries to embarrass her in the middle of a very important business meeting. His excuse is that he wants what's best for her, but his ideas of what's best is having Piper be Susie freaking homemaker and marry Rose's dad even though he's a piece of shit, and then just be a stay-at-home mom. He is so far stuck in the 50s, I really want to just reach and just smack him. Despite everything that he's done to her and Rose, Piper forgives him so easily. I would not let anyone get away with doing what he did to my child, not that I have any, and it bugged me that Piper just let him off the hook so easily. Piper is too forgiving of her dad. There are too many just completely awful men in Piper's life, and I don't like the fact that she didn't deal with any of them. She let them treat her like a punching bag through the entire thing. And the other thing that I really didn't like was the whole back and forth of will they, won't they, took way too long. Cole was scared to let down his walls completely, so through the entire thing, his argument was that they shouldn't be together. For all of the things I liked about his character and how many dimensions he has, I didn't see him as a hero in this book because he was just too much of a coward to be with Piper and the baby. I didn't like that the relationship still skews in Cole's favor. He protects Rose and Piper and he lets them into his life to a certain extent, but he never really makes them a priority. Through the entire book, Piper is the one that chases after him, and I would have liked to see him put at least a little bit more effort into being together. So that's it for today. Those are my thoughts on Beauty and the Blitz. All in all, I like this book, but it's probably going to be the only one in the series that I am going to read. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, you can always follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I post new videos on Mondays, so go ahead and subscribe and ring the little bell down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!